Yep, you read that correctly. I got myself some Bitcoin. Welcome to Microcap Explosions. This is Mariusz Skonieczny. So, as you know, I haven't been pro Bitcoin. And this week, I bought Bitcoin for the first time. So, what happened? Okay. I'm hiring this person to do a service for me. We're going through talks here and there, and he says, how are you going to pay for it? Or when are you going to pay for it? I said, anytime you want. Okay. So I'm about to pay, with a credit card, with a PayPal or whatever. And he says, I only accept Bitcoin. And at first, I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to tell him to forget it. Because I said, I don't do Bitcoin. And then I thought to myself, no. You know what? I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to get an account with Coinbase, fund it with money, pay it with Bitcoin, and see what this fuss is all about. Okay? And maybe some of you can help me because I'm not as technologically advanced, but maybe you can explain to me the value of Bitcoin because from my point of view, I still don't see it, okay? And I'm open-minded. So what I did is I got myself an account with Coinbase. I funded it with $1,000. I did a wire transfer. I could have connected my bank account, but I'm just not comfortable. Usually I don't use debit cards or automatic payments and things like that. So I felt more comfortable just getting a wiring $1,000. And then so I took 500 out of the 1,000 and I bought Bitcoin with it. And then the rest of it is in cash. And then I took $250 worth of Bitcoin and I sent it to the guy. He gave me the wallet. I sent it to him. It was all smoothless and it successfully transferred $250 from me to him, right? So let's talk about just money, what money really is. Because yesterday I was teaching a dance lesson, right? I taught a dance lesson and the student came in and gave me $70. That's what I right now charge for a dance lesson. So did she really give me $70? No, she didn't give me $70. What she gave me is value. And that value is just being represented by the cash, right? That's what I got. In other words, when you buy something for money, you're not paying with money. You are paying with hours of your life, okay? You go, let's say you make $10 an hour, okay? You work at McDonald's for 10 hours. You've created value worth of $100, right? And then you can take that value and you can exchange it for other things worth of value, right? So if you were to get paid in $100 cash, you can take that $100 cash and exchange it. But that $100 in itself is not worth anything. It's what it represents, okay? So in this case, I was sending the person $200 worth of value that I created, whether it's teaching dance lessons or whether it's collecting money from Microcap Explosions or whether it's for my investments. This is what I transferred, okay? So I took my money that was first, I took my value that was first represented in US dollars and I converted it into Bitcoin to send it to that person so that that person can convert it back into US dollars and use that to pay for bills, okay? So I'm thinking to myself, how did Bitcoin add any value to this transaction? And I can't find anything. It was, other than it was an inconvenience for me to open the account and fund it and all that, but let's just say this is not inconvenience because you have to open an account and go through inconveniences anyway. So how did it improve my life? Zero. I could have paid with a check, okay, but on the internet that's not as convenient. I could have used a credit card. This would have done the job. I could have used PayPal. This would have done the job. But no, he wanted it like that. So, okay, so I went through it. But from my point of view, I just don't see how Bitcoin added any value to me whatsoever. Zero. I could have done it, and on top of it, I had to wait like 20 or 30 minutes for the transaction to get settled, to get approved, right? So I'm thinking to myself, how does a transaction like this is going to work if I go to the store and buy myself some groceries? Am I supposed to wait in line for 30 minutes for the transaction to be approved? I don't have to do that when I use a credit card. I don't have to do that when I give them cash, right? So I don't see how going through Bitcoin was any better than any other way. So that's from the point of view of somebody who is using Bitcoin to transfer value from one person to another. Because really, if you think about it, most people, when they get paid, they use that money to pay bills, okay? So they're not really storing that money or that value anywhere unless they make so much money that they have something left over and then they can take it and invest it into things that might grow, right? So that takes me on the topic of, well, a store of value. Okay, so the value or the money that I have left after I pay my bills, I don't let it just sit in the bank account doing nothing. I put it into productive uses. I put it into things that either grow or maintain value. So I might put it into a real estate. I might put it into a productive business. I'm not just going to leave it in cash. The only cash that I leave in the bank is what I need on a regular basis, okay? So people are saying, well, but you can do the same thing with Bitcoin because it's going to grow over time. And by the way, I agree with it. It probably will because people are using the platform. The idea is this, that as more people are using the platform, it's like a network effect. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that could be printed. Over time, the price of Bitcoin is going to increase. Now, here's what I don't get. So please help me. Because if you're using credit card or PayPal, right, they generate some kind of benefit. The benefit is that you can transfer the value from yourself to another entity. And that is valuable to you as a user, okay? And companies like MasterCard or Visa or PayPal provide that service. And because they provide value to you, the value of their companies goes up. And over time, as they get more people using the platform, or that the value of their companies goes up. So in other words, these companies deliver the benefit to us, and as a result, they get the benefit by increasing the value of their companies. Okay, now with Bitcoin, it's a little different. The platform or the ecosystem is supposedly creating value for people who are exchanging, and in return, the whole ecosystem becomes more valuable. But the point is that using Bitcoin doesn't generate any extra value that is not satisfied already out there. We have Visa and MasterCard. Why would we have a third or fourth or a 10th one to do the same thing? It doesn't make any sense. If we were on barter system, if we were on cash system and check system, and there was no Visa, there was no MasterCard, there was no PayPal, there was no Stripe, yeah, then there would be something very useful in something like Bitcoin that would greatly bring the benefit to the society. But right now, when we have these things in place, what kind of benefit does Bitcoin bring? What kind of benefit did Bitcoin do to me that I didn't have before? I don't see any. So again, maybe you guys can help me out because I don't see any. And yeah, I can see a situation where I can go travel to a different country and using Bitcoin, I don't have to worry about the exchange rates and things like that. I can see the benefit in that. Okay. So to me, it looks like the people that benefit from Bitcoin are the ones that are holding these coins and waiting for more people to start using that platform. So in other words, they're trying to convince the people to use this platform without any extra benefit for these people, for the benefit of the people that own Bitcoins over time. That's the way I see it. So anyway, tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I'm missing. Because at this point, I used it. It was nice. It was inconvenient to set up the account, but I have the account. But as a user, I don't see any benefit from it at all. I'm trying to transfer hours of my labor, of hours from one person to another. Bitcoin to me just seems like another vehicle, but it's not any better. It's actually worse. So tell me where I'm wrong. Thanks for watching.